Welcome back to HPL. We're here for the battle of the undefeateds here in our first match of the night. Superjj versus Dog. Again, they're also teammates, so it's going to be a little bit of bittersweet victory, I think is the way you put it. It's just, I loved it. That's what's going to happen here tonight. And, you know, we both picked Dog, but, you know, I think it's going to be a pretty close. I think Superjj is going to come out swinging.
Yeah, I mean, most of my pick is seated in the experience that Dog has. You know, Superjj, he's done fantastic here in HPL so far, but Dog has a history of doing fantastic. You know, that's really where the difference is for me as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what kind of decks they bring tonight. Is Dog going to come out aggressive like he did in his last match? Is Superjj going to switch it up, maybe go into a full-on control role? You know, just be ready for what Dog brings. I think you're going to see all over the place deck choices.
Yeah, we're going to find out here, though, in Game 1. Superjj versus Dog is getting underway.
Yeah, I was super excited about this match, and I love that we're leading off with this one tonight. Let's just get right into the action. These guys are going to be dealing a ton of damage to each other.
Yeah, I mean, that's traditionally what they've been doing in the past. You know, that's a marquee of a winning player, is being able to get the full 30, and, you know, sometimes it's a little bit more, too, depending on what's been healed. And straight away in our first match here, Superjj, I mean, this looks like control. We saw Nyria play Shield Maiden in his Grim Patron Warrior, but when you couple that with a Sludge Belcher, I have to believe he's looking for the long game here. And Dog, that's a Mad Scientist as an opening hand, and he was playing Mage, so there's a potential this could be Freeze Mage. We're going to get a closer look. And with Emperor Thorson and 2 Mad Scientists, no clue quite yet, but
a Blizzard, yeah,
that spells it for you.
Buckle in, boys. This one might be a long one.
Yeah, traditionally, this has been a very, very poor matchup on the Mage's side of things, where the Warrior can just get so much armor that they're completely out of reach.
Yeah, that has happened in the past, but with the printing of Emperor Thorson, with that card coming into the fold in the last few months, it has really pushed up the matchup a little bit for Mage. When it used to be, as you said, almost unwinnable in some spots, they've actually clawed into being able to win this match a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, prior to this, I think the only person I've actually seen in competitive play win Freeze Mage versus Warrior, I think, was Forsen. It was like a 5% matchup, maybe, for the Mage's side of things. Again, just too much armor to be able to be dealt with. But Dog's got Alexstrasza and Emperor Thorson very early. These are two really key cards in this matchup, you know, to try to face off against this deck. But Superjj has got double Armor Smith, he's got Acolyte of Pain, he's got Cruel Taskmaster. He's going to be able to apply a little bit of pressure here and then also keep his life total padded as he starts rolling through these middle stages of the game. This is looking like a good one.
Yeah, Superjj's opening hand in this matchup is great. Dog's not so much. You don't want these fireballs, these Alexstrazzas just yet. You want a lot of ways to draw cards here early. He's looking for stuff like Acolyte of Pain and Arcane Intellect. He hasn't gotten those yet. You want to be drawing extra cards. He's thinning his deck here with these Mad Scientists. He's gotten 2 secrets out of his deck. He can't draw those anymore this game, but he still needs a couple improvements on his next couple turns.
Yeah, it does improve his draw density in that regard. You don't want to be drawing your secrets unless you're against something like Hunter, maybe. You know, don't mind drawing Ice Barrier in that scenario. But yeah, at this point, it's really going to be a matter if he can find the right card draw. Loot Hoarder is certainly going to help him, and he's going to start working on this armor total straight away. I mean, it's every single point of damage really adds up. Every
single point of damage in this match really, really counts. In some matches of Freeze Mage, the early damage, like when you weave in a hero power here or there, doesn't really matter because you're going to Alexstrasza them and then 17 them in one turn and kill them from there. But when you're up against Warrior who gains a lot of armor, every single little bit matters, and you're going to see Superjj understand that this matchup and armor up as much as he can.
Yeah, Dog's draw, I mean, no Arcane Intellects, no Acolytes of Pain. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Those are very key cards in this matchup, and the fact that Superjj has started out with 2 Armor Smiths into Acolyte Cruel Taskmaster, this is looking pretty poor for Dog at this point. You know, we said it was anyone's match, but it's just, he doesn't really have an efficient way to handle this pressure. Something like Blizzard is going to give Superjj 8 armor in the process.
Yeah, this Blizzard isn't going to be super effective in the situation. It is going to clear up this Acolyte of Pain. I think it's like one of the biggest parts of this. He only gets 1 more draw off of it, and it removes from the board. So it's not the worst Blizzard ever in the world, but it does give Superjj, as you see, 14 armor now. He's up to 40.
Yeah, that's a major difference. He's got Alexstrasza of his own too. And so now this turn's kind of interesting because moving forward, it's a matter of whether or not he wants pressure to come out or whether or not he just wants to keep armoring up. And
yeah, he's just going to armor up every turn that he can.
Shows he really understands this matchup. You know, I fully expect Dr. Boom and Ragnaros to hit the board after this, but that's largely in part because he's already got 21 armor and a Shield Maiden to back it up.
So you might be thinking, what does Dog have to do to win this game from here? He's going to have to get pretty lucky, but there is a way to do this. What he's going to have to do is he's going to have to get through Dr. Boom, Ragnaros, Alexstrasza, all this stuff from Superjj while still drawing extra cards. And eventually, he's going to have a huge Archmage of Antonidas turn. It's going to involve Archmage, multiple spells in his hand, and Emperor Thorson, making all of them cheaper, so he can just start chaining fireballs like crazy. That is the only way Dog is going to be able to win from here.
Yeah, it gets Arcane Intellect, so that'll help him try to find some of these answers, but You know, Frostbolt and Ice Lance, very important cards in this matchup right now, but Archmage is kind of the last piece of this puzzle. If he picks that up, he's going to be what I would consider in pretty good shape here. But, you know, in terms of his ability to try to end the game, but 25 armor. We've seen Superjj too. Last turn he played Sludge Belcher and just armored up. He understands that his win condition in this matchup is quite literally just getting completely out of reach of what the mage can do. I love that he understands this.
Yeah, there is a finite amount of damage that Dog can do out of his deck. Now, Ragnaros is a very, very good card in this matchup. It is insanely good against Freeze Mage here. It is going to kill the Acolyte Pain to give him card, but as you see, Dog doesn't have a ton of easy ways to answer this card. He's going to have to couple it with something like Fireball and Frostbolt, you know, Frostbolt, Ice Lance plus a hero power, and that's not exactly what he wants to be doing in this match. He needs to save those to kill Superjj because you only have so much damage in your deck.
Yeah, just gonna go ahead and get the Alexstrasza out of the way now. Really, the important part of this is the damage that it deals, you know, effectively to that life
just a
total.
clean 30 damage here on the Alexstrasza.
Yeah, just 32 damage. Why not?
What's the biggest Shield Slam you've ever seen?
It's probably 32, honestly. It's talking about Ragnaros and how big of a threat is in this matchup. 8 damage going upstairs. Way back when Reels, he was one of the players who was a prominent Freeze Mage player, and Ragnaros was such a big threat to that deck that he actually had a copy of Polymorph in his Freeze Mage deck strictly to deal with Ragnaros. That was the only threat he was concerned with.
Yeah, you've actually seen some players who play a lot of Freeze Mage change some stuff up over the last couple ones. I have seen every now and then a copy of BGH sneak its way into Freeze Mage just for this situation right here. And yeah, you're going to see Superjj start to push a ton of damage here over the next turn or two.
Yeah, really good. It's going to be so difficult for a Dog to really get anything done here. Again,
I don't think he can actually win from this
sitting
point.
behind 34 armor, it's just, yeah, everything's on Superjj's side of the court. This matchup really, it's just one of those ones that you're absolutely trying to avoid with Freeze Mage. You know, that these players have kind of, you know, Dog has, we saw him play Freeze Mage earlier in HPL, and he queued it into a Mech Mage. That was beautiful from him to be able to have that matchup, but you know, here against Superjj, he's continued to mix it up constantly, and this strategy just paying off 100% perfectly in this matchup. Honestly, just because of the armor total, I don't know if Dog could ever win this game.
Yeah, it's, as I said, it's going to come down to if he has a turn with Emperor Thorson and Archimage Antonitis, but I don't think he can actually develop a board state into that situation anymore. You've seen him just hold on to this Emperor the whole game. Picking up Frost Nova, not the worst thing in the world here. He's going to be able to Frost Nova and Doomsayer this turn, and I just hope it's good, but this Shield Slam is going to deal 34 to 36 damage to this Doomsayer.
The Ragnaros could clear it out too, in case, you know, if he just wants to flip it. I would venture to say he's not just going to leave it up to fate to decide.
Yeah, there's no way you take that risk here. Oh, wow, he picked up an Execute here this turn as well, so what he could actually do is use the Whirlwind effect off of his Death Spite and Execute here. If he doesn't feel that if he feels that he needs to just save the Shield Slam just for anything that could possibly come out of Dog's deck.
I'm curious how much he's worried about his armor total at this point. You know, he does have the option to Grom, attack Deathbite to the face, attack 10 more with Grom to the face, and then execute this Doomsayer afterwards and have a massive amount of pressure moving forward in this game. But, you know, there's a lot of other options as well. He could just armor up and Shield Slam and say, you know what, my board's good enough. Harrison Jones could easily come down this turn. But just once again, he has the freedom to do pretty much as he pleases because he's gotten to this 34 armor point, the major goal in this game.
Yeah, I mean, he's at so much armor now that it's going to be almost impossible for Dog to deal actually enough damage to kill him.
Shield block being added here. So just more life total for Superjj at this point. Sort of the writing's on the wall here when you're playing this Freeze Mage deck. The last thing you want to see is this much damage that you have to deal. And how on earth does he get out of it? Even if he drew Archmage off this Acolyte this turn, he would have no way to play it.
Yeah, I don't think Dog actually has a way to win from here. He's going to get another turn because of the Ice Block on his hero right now that he has in play. He's going to get another Ice Block out of his hand, but it's just not going to be enough from here. As we said, he has a finite amount of damage that he can deal, and
the pressure that he's under too. I mean, he's facing down over 18 points of damage just on the board alone. The Shield Maiden, almost impossible for it not to trade into this.
Yeah, you can see the Sludge Belter attack first here. Yeah, just get him down to 1. Yeah, proc this shield, and then we're going to start cleaning up this board.
Just everything going wrong for Dog in this game. I kind of feel bad for him at this point.
Oh, absolutely. This is the nightmare scenario.
I'm even trying to sequence perfectly too. I mean, you'll see this very consistently from professionals. They're not in any rush to get things done.
Oh, I like this from Superjj. He's actually going to try to make Dog draw his entire deck here.
Oh, I like that. He's going to try to actually burn a key card.
Because you can kill him with Fatigue before he gets the secret in play. If he gets another secret, it won't happen this turn, but that is something in the future.
Yeah, does end up picking up Archmage, but again, just kind of too little too late at this point. 39 armor, going to go up to 41 armor.
I think the biggest I've ever seen, I've seen someone at 52 before. I think it was an arena game, but yeah, this is just unbelievable.
Still has a second ice block though. I mean, maybe there's a chance this gets through. Yeah, the Ice Lance's getting burned. I mean, that's such a critical card to get burned at this point too. So not even going to be using the Archmage this turn, just has to go with, you know, whatever he has.
I think Dog's just having a little flurry here at the end.
This looks like it could potentially be the end of it here. I mean, he's expended all of his spells. Yeah, doesn't have mana to play Ice Block this turn, so that's going to do it for Dog in this match. Superjj, massive armor totals. I mean, that is a win condition in certain circumstances. You know, just padding your health and having your opponent not be able to have the reach to get to you.
You saw Dog do well over 20 points of damage that game, and he's even going to BGH his own Ragnaros here. You saw Dog do so much damage that game, and it didn't actually even get Superjj below 30.
Yeah, just too much armor. Wow, I mean, double armor smith openings can be very dangerous, but in particular for Freeze Mage. Again, this combo deck is trying to pick off pretty much any other strategy other than Control Warrior. There's really no deck that can pad its life total quite the way that it does. And so to queue in that matchup, this is pretty unlucky for Dog, I would say.
Yeah, just an absolute nightmare matchup, the one you don't want to see. When you see Warrior across the other side, you're just crossing your fingers. Please be Grim Patron. Please be Grim Patron. Because you can actually win that matchup. But the Control one, as you said, it's just almost unwinnable if they know what they're doing.
Yeah, very close to unwinnable for that one. Superjj is going to take this first game and set him off to a running start here in this match. But guys, when we come back, we're going to have that second match between, or second game between Superjj and Dog. You can head over to pvplive.net and take a look for yourself at exactly what these guys played, and more importantly, how they played those strategies in the past. So when we come back, second game's going to get underway. Don't go anywhere, guys. You're watching Hearthstone on PvP Live.